We're almost there at the finish line.
We're almost there. Just one more episode. One more
Just one
episode. We're
more.
finally done Decker. Then we can finally move on and talk about other things that we like.
Yeah, but
But
I'm also sad because Decker is over.
we still got the movie.
We got the movie
Got the movie.
Get the
and the
movie.
future crossovers he'll be in.
Someone asked us today. It's like, so what do we call all the Ultraman after Taiga? What are you talking about? Well, they're not new generation heroes. They're Reiwa. No.
Until
Oh.
until Super Eye says otherwise, they are classified as new gen heroes.
This isn't Kamen Rider where it's all categorized on whatever fucking era it is. It's primarily just focused on, oh, did they, what are the heroes categorized after one Pacific hero onward, which is Zero, and then now we're still in New Gen.
I don't see new gen going away anytime soon.
From like, I think it was like a press conference that they did or some sort of like international plan that they released. It was like they have like not like any concepts, but basically they intend to keep going with the shows as long as they can.
Makes sense.
Welcome to Ultra Galaxy Chat, everyone. It's not that I forgot that we were doing a show. It's just
We didn't really have a bit.
yes, this is episode 11 of UGC, where we talk about the current Ultraman.
What current?
Ready, set, marker.
We can't call it the current show anymore because it's over. Oops.
And with the episode coming out, the next Ultra is probably out.
By the time this episode comes out, the other Ultraman, Balthazar, will be halfway through.
If you allow me this quick moment, it's over.
Like, I know it's Blazar, but I just, every time I want to say it, I just want to say Balthazar.
Balthazar.
It's Ultraman Balthazar.
It sounds like more like an alien name. Then again, Ultras are aliens.
Balazar. Blazar.
Blazar, alien Balthazar.
Garza.
So we're going to talk about episodes 20 and 21. It's the waiting pool for the goddamn oasis.
I mean, episode 20 actually focuses on water.
See, just because you're right.
But yes, episode 20 of Ultraman Decker, Lord Ragon, came out Saturday, December 3rd, 2022, written by Takano Nakano and directed by our lovely man himself, Kiyotaka Taguchi.
I can summarize this episode as, let's take the Twilight Zone and mix it with some Japanese stories.
This episode is very intriguing, would be the word I would say, because this is probably the most what the heck episode.
I appreciate the fact that the episode literally begins with someone getting slimed in a jump scare format.
I love that the scream led into the opening, or not led in, but it like
the scream lingers in the opening for the first few seconds.
Yes, I love that.
That was a genuine scream of terror.
But yes, in the small little city of Wadasumi, there was this cult.
The Ragonites.
Who are apparently a group of people who has been worshipping Lord Ragon for, I think, 2,000 years?
200 years.
And the city that they were on were a small village that the land rose up and the ocean went away and it was turned into a city.
And the main person that Ichika and Kaizaki talked to was one of the last Ragonites who operates this little museum or like little shop, Urasawa.
Yes.
And this is when the creepiness of the episode just comes in, because as Ichika and the vice captain like enter her like building, apparently Ichika is getting visions of the past.
Purely
And
because she is a beautiful woman with a pure heart.
which I really find it funny every time the vice captain was like, "What do you the fuck? What the hell? What do you mean a young girl with a pure heart? Why can't I see it?" And then the old lady was like, You don't have you don't have a pure heart. Like fuck you." Like this old lady, like she presents herself like she's old, but at the same time she's like, "Wow, you treat other people kind of like shit, just a little bit."
So she is the last member of the Ragonite cult.
I think it's best to say the Ragonites are just like a group of worshippers, which I guess it's a cult.
Ye-
Yeah.
At this rate, just call them the dance troops. That's all they've been doing.
But
Oh yeah, the Ragon dance.
Ragon dance, Ragon dance.
And skipping ahead a little bit, so the a couple times episode you see these people getting aggressively slimed in the face by Ragon. You can't see it, but I'm doing air quotes because they show Ragon in suit sliming these people. But whenever Ichika and Kaizaki talk to, I guess, these workers, they form a mob, they hunt Ragon down, and shocking, absolutely one person that's not me, it's Urasawa.
Old woman
Yeah.
Urasawa.
And where she's doing all this because the workers were trying to get rid of this tome that was apparently sealing away a portal for Ragon.
Yeah, Ama's
And
arch.
yeah, Ama's Arch. And apparently she doesn't want that because she wants to meet Ragon one more time before she dies.
And why is this? Because when she was a little girl, she was best friends with Ragon.
And it was a really weird because it literally shows a clip of a door sliding and Ragon just peeping out like a creep. And then we see Ragon and the old lady back then playing around as friends, and apparently they had to seal away Ragon because this isn't the proper age where he's supposed to come back.
He's got to come back in 1966 when we accidentally have a bomb strapped around his neck. Or, he's got to come back to possess an up and coming idol who hates her best friend because she got to be in a music video.
Ragon has to go back to the past to meet his old friends and people who suck ass.
We learned something new about Ichika. Apparently, she rides a motorcycle.
Yeah. She basically said that she likes traveling to places if she thinks about it. Like if she wants to go to the ocean, she would.
Her motorcycle is like in the nurse Desse or in a garage, just gathering dust because she barely uses it anymore.
Now I'm just thinking of the freaking thing from Kiva. Just it shoots out the Nurse Desi's mouth, and she's just on her motorcycle.
Wrong booster. Did anyone else notice the weird, like, traditional "don't do this," but also don't be a? There was a weird, like, tradition message going on.
I feel like this episode was a giant love letter to Ultra Q.
And it's obvious that Ragon looks like the creature of the Black Lagoon.
Yes, that is the like direct homage.
But let's can we get to the Decker fight?
He was only there just to fight, and that's basically it. But before that, apparently the land in the city is like getting softer, and the ocean is about to rise again. And because of that, the tome that was sealing Ragon just apparently exploded, and Ragon appeared.
It's like since no one was like worshiping him, it grew in anger.
It's been 70 years. I'm pissed now. No one gives a shit about me.
What do you mean
Yeah.
my vinyl figure is not getting a re-release? Now I'm mad.
That's one angry fish stick. So we get our Decker fight.
It's the most goofiest fight I've ever seen. He cannot land a hit.
Because he slimed me.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of like trying to wrestle a fish out of the water.
And Decker even tries to pin him down, but he's literally struggling to grab his hand. Like, he's literally just slipping off and on when he's trying to grab him.
And-
like, grab Ragon.
At one point, he gets up, swipes Slim of his hand. He's like, Like he was ready to throw down.
And it's not until Decker actually does his soul gem beam that he actually land a hit.
And then Ragon retaliates with a water beam that sinks Decker underwater. And then we cut to the Urasawa plot.
Yeah. The old lady's like, no, Ragon, please. Like, remember, I'm your friend, and now I'm gonna do the Ragon dance.
She was
Ragon
legit
Dan.
willing to sacrifice her life to reunite with Ragon to go through this Stargate, wormhole.
Oh, she wasn't ready to sacrifice herself. She was straight up ready to die.
Yeah.
Because I was
Yeah,
gonna,
and,
I was gonna bring this up a few minutes ago, but just the way that she described being like, not just everyone that I know is gone. It's sort of just like she sort of made it morbid by saying
She's the last one.
I've been abandoned. It's like that's one
Yeah.
way to look at it.
like, I know you're old lady, but like, damn. I mean, that is a real thing in the real world where a lot of like.
You could say she, quote unquote, died whenever Ragon was first sealed away from her as a child.
Like, I know Decker was just about to say it, but I understand where she's coming from. I've had those thoughts before of like, if everyone and everything you ever knew was gone, what is there left?
It's a struggle for a lot of people, especially in a culture where there's high rates.
Yeah.
But then Ichika jumps in the gate, and out of nowhere comes Miracle Type Hand.
Yeah, because Miracle Type can perform miracles, because remember, he can do that.
I'm sorry, but just visual. I'm glad that Taguchi directed this because the visual effects were so fucking good this episode.
Oh yeah, there's even like a scene where Decker was putting down the Falcon, and it actually looks like, actually does not look janky.
One of my favorite shots was when he was miracle typing, grabs Ichika and Urasawa, and like you see his giant arm just on the ground and just slowly releases them. I've seen that work, and I've also seen that not work.
There's one clip from Ginga where you can see the bad guy name from Ginga. I forgot his name.
Oh, Dark Lugiel.
He apparently kicked Ginga mid transformation, but it looks so weird because it's clearly green screen over a green screen.
It's it's digitally added onto stock footage.
But remember, Ginga didn't have the best budget.
Basically, Ichika tries to convince Urasawa that even if no one that you know is around you anymore, that doesn't mean that your life is meaningless now. Even though, out of all the Gut-Select member, I would say that she's probably the weakest one, but that doesn't mean that she's a terrible character at all. I think the episode where she's involved the most has a lot of heart into them. This episode and the L King episode, these two episodes are probably have the most heartwarming standalone plot.
To the point where after the day is saved, when they're talking, when they're kind of recapping what happened and such, they ask, "Hey, where's Ichika?" Kaisaki's like, "She went to research." That has a little smile and cut to her just chatting with Urasawa.
Which I got some trivia. I got a few pieces of trivia. I already mentioned Taguchi directed this episode, but interestingly enough, this was his first episode Decker he directed.
He did a good job.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. Ragon's subname was changed. For the longest time, it was the Undersea Humanoid, but now it's the Primordial Amphibian.
Quick pedal back to whenever Kaizaki was talking about the undersea beings, she briefly mentions like something from Lovecraft.
Yeah, Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, Tank Trigger, because Megalithor, Cthulhu.
Yeah, like there's Ragon. Here's this sea deity. Here's this sea deity. Here's something from Lovecraft. There's also one known as the Deep One. And to prove their new friendship, she gives her shell that she got from Ragon to Ichika.
Happy ending. The old lady has a friend again.
Ichika made a new friend and now has a shell where she can hear the ocean.
I personally like this episode mainly because, the last I want to say post episode 14, it's sort of been a constant like story after story after story featuring Agames and Terra Phaser.
It's more tense. So this was a nice way to. It's like, hey, calming breath, relax. We're gonna watch a good one.
Get out of the city for a bit.
Take a nice dip in the pool, maybe wrestle a fish. You'll feel fine.
And then episode 21's like, hey, that's cool. Here, hold my Ultra Beer.
Yeah, cause damn.
You know when you start an episode with a power plant, it just means all good things.
Yeah, episode 21, The Price is Prosperity, which was also directed by Taguchi.
So hey, we have to investigate this power plant for a mysterious energy reading. Why is that? Oh, the energy we're making? We have a dead body of a sphere in here.
And that Kanata and
Ryumon
basically said, "What the actual fuck?"
Dude, you can't be using that. I know a guy from the future. He says this is bad stuff. Oh, well, you care. What has the TPU actually done to stop the spheres?
and his response was, "Am I doing anything illegal?" There you go.
Yeah. And the power plant is called the As Plasma, which they basically take the spears and convert it into energy to combat the spears.
All for the thanks of SciTech.
It's even more disturbing when you realize they're taking power from a dead corpse. Because they say it's a dead spear soldier.
You told me this thing was
dead.
deceased. Dormant and deceased are two different things.
Also, can we talk about how the character that presented in the first half of the episode immediately became pointless once the whole thing happened?
Funny enough, this is also not his first Ultraman credit either.
Where was he in?
The actor, Shohei Abe, was in the second half of Ultraman Ginga as Shingo Kuwabara, one of the investors that wanted to destroy the elementary school.
No offense. How are we supposed to know that when
again, you see that rankings of Ginga. I don't remember him at all.
It's one of those things where it's just like, oh, this is what I do for notes. It's like, oh, a guest actor. Okay, what are they known for? Da, 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 da. Oh, they were in Ginga.
It's like, huh? Who?
It's not one of those things where I'm like, I recognize him. He was in Ginga. No.
Hey, he was in Ginga. Okay. But good for him, I guess.
Good for him. He gets to come back to be another asshole.
And it's just hilarious because literally a scene where he's like, okay, put up the power up to 80%, and then one of the scientists went, but sir, he said, do it, we will control it no matter what. Cut to a few seconds later, what the fuck is going on? And the spear came out of the building and formed Spear Guiomos.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's based on Guiomos, which was also a spear monster.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where Geomos was a cross, like he appeared in episodes 35 and 36 of Ultraman Dyna, which are most famous for being the crossover of Guts and Super Guts. In which we might as well skip straight to the big point of this episode, Ultraman Dyna.
Ultraman Dyna is here, and it's so fucking cool.
We don't see Shin, but we get Dyna.
Yeah, we don't get Asuka because of, well, political reasons that I will not get into.
Why do we get Dyna? Because Geomos first spawns another Spherosaurus.
Spawn it from the future.
Universe.
Yeah, because apparently since the Geomos is fused with S-plasma energy that allows our spaceships to travel at light speed, it can riff open portals throughout time and space.
And after a brief montage making a plan, after they fire S-Plasma Maxima Cannon into both of them and kill the Spherosaurus, Geomos is like, hold my kaiju beer, tries it again, but surprise, Dyna.
Well, no, because like it tried to summon another Spherosaurus, but that's just like, psh, the hell is that?
Dyna.
Oh hell no! I'm coming in, boys. I'm dropping in.
How dare you make a Decker tribute series without me?
And they recreated his Rai sequence.
No, I will 100% say this is 10 times cooler than Tiga showing up in Trigger.
Yeah, and unlike Tiga in Trigger, he did not appear in the last 5 minutes.
Because technically, would we call that Tiga since it came from Shizuma?
Yeah, because light of Tiga bullshit.
Like, that was technically a Tiga, but we can say this is Dyna. To a degree. To a degree.
To a certain degree, it is Dyna.
Seeing how he referenced like the fireball attack, I do believe that it is Shin Asuka.
If this was a two-parter, do you think we would have gotten Shin Asuka's actor back? Takeshi Saruna.
I would think so, but they would probably pop him in at the end to give parting words to Kanata.
If there's one small glimmer of hope, which I'm a little bit conflicted on, is that Dyna is going to appear again in the Decker movie. Because because if anyone did not know, apparently even though Asuka's actor wasn't in this episode, Asuka's actor himself has appeared in everything else. Like Kanata's actor and him actually interacted in like the Ultra Expo, and they even did an interview for like the Blu-ray box.
Yeah, I remember the interview video.
Yeah, so I think if Superman wants to bring the actor back, they can. But the only other way I can think of them bringing him in is the movie, because the movie's a few months ago.
We do have confirmation from the trailer that Dyna does appear in the movie.
And we do see Dyna in the trailer.
Let's fucking go.
Like, I even love how they recreated one of his transition.
Yeah, the CGI type change scenes. It's like
the strong type.
Even more evidence about it being actually Asuka, because Asuka, like, if I remember correctly, he primarily used strong type the most.
Yeah, he didn't use Miracle Type a lot.
Like, jumping ahead to the next episode, 22, we do see a flashback, or 23, 22, I can't remember, but we do see Dyna and Decker team up and go like their sky type forms, or miracle types.
That's a little bit ahead of the episode, so let's go back to episode 21.
Yeah. So, let's rewind a bit.
So Seer Gamos pops up, and they're like, "Yeah, we need to figure something out to get rid of these things. I'm out of ammo. Drop this. Thanks, Ogums. Ogums."
I love that. Like, Ogums is just sort of like, yeah, it's because of you assholes.
It's because of you Earthlings who go out into space. You cause the sphere to come after my planet.
Yeah.
And that sort of makes Kanata lose hope in the future. Thus, he can't transform into Decker.
Because Kanata is very, very easy to, like,
manipulate.
Not really manipulate. More.
He's emotionally driven.
Yeah, he's emotionally driven. And because of that, the D-Flasher did not respond to him.
Like, sorry to cut you off, Decker, but just think of it this way. Episode 2 takes place 1 year after the events of the first episode, and Kanata acknowledges through inner monologue he has not been able to transform into Decker. It's weird to think that the Decker power set is heavily based on emotion.
Like, go into Kamen Rider real quick, like the drive system. You have to have a certain mindset to change a form.
Brings to another thought about the D-Flasher and the whole power set for Decker, because we know the power set belongs to Decker Asumi, but we don't know the actual source of the power, which would then lead to another question: where does it even come from?
There's a current rumor that Dinas, who shows up in the Decker movie, is the origin point of the power set.
Would explain the similarities in their designs.
It explains why Decker's body is very bland, Ultraman Dynas's body is very bland.
It's like a prototype.
Yeah.
Also, that would also explain why the color timer is always stuck on red.
But speaking a little bit of Dinas, the bio for her character is that she's from a race of aliens where they're not primarily good for like combat, so that might explain the weaknesses of Dinas.
Although and also leads to people speculating on who the hell Consus gets with to eventually have Decker in the future
Yeah,
with his family line.
yeah.
To say this all right now, people are speculating either he gets with Dinas or gets with Ichika.
I wouldn't say Ichika because throughout the show there wasn't any romantic relation between the two of them. They're more best friends than like, oh yeah, we got like we're interested in each other.
That's what I said about Asuka and Maya in the original Dyna show, and it was
Oh
apparently,
my,
and like at the very end of that finale, it's just like I love you, or not really, but it's like, wait, you guys
No,
were supposed to be a relationship?
no, Gar. Here's what happened. After they first looked at after he first gave her rice crackers, that's when sparks happened. So GMO spawns a future Spherosaurus to do its energy thing, and Guts looks like, yeah, we need to figure out how to kill these things.
yeah, because especially since all their jets and the Nurse Desi got blown the fuck up.
I love that they
These are
have like
EMP.
jets holding the Nurse Desi head up,
Yeah,
just be like fire correctly.
yeah.
I'm glad they kept the consistency of each the sphere energy basically being an EMP.
And they used the prototype of the S plasma to power up the head of the Nurse Desi to angle it to a point where it shoots both Spear Geomos and Spearsaurus, but Geomos are able to dodge it, and then it hits Spearsaurus, making a giant fucking hole in the chest.
Also, shout out to Ryumon for trying to lead Geomos in a little shuttle.
Oh yeah, remember that shuttle from Trigger that he never explained at all?
It was Ryumon's the entire time, apparently.
Yeah.
And speaking of things being explained, or Agamus gets into a Terra Phaser, we start to see like Hanajiro mentions to the captain that he senses sphere energy inside.
Apparently, okay, so it all happened when Dyna basically uses his fireball attack to blow up the freaking cannon in the chest, and apparently that somehow disrupt like the energy source within the Terra Phaser, which then send spear energy to Agams.
Well, yeah, they sent it to the Terra Phaser, but thanks to a lot of cords connecting to Agams, gets to him.
Yeah, a little bit. And people online find it hilarious because in the episode he literally said, "You do not understand the power of the spears and how they use them." And then we found out that he's using the power of the spears for Terra Phaser.
Agams for a genius or stupid sometimes.
I mean, he is slowly going crazy, so.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
true.
But we'll get
true.
into that next time.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked the Dyna Decker team up.
Yeah.
See, Trigger, this is how you do it.
And the episode end with Dyna not physically saying to Kanata, but basically he told Kanata the future that is beyond here is not fixed, so anything can happen. And then he basically entered a portal to the future with a thumbs up, and then Kanata does the same as well.
I just really thought of something. They don't have Dyna say anything because they couldn't get the actor back.
It may just be Dyna himself.
But it makes me really think about this from a production standpoint. All the original Ultra Brothers, they have gotten different voice actors for recently because all the actors are getting older. But when it comes to Tiga Onward or say Powered Onward, Tsuburaya has been trying to keep the same actors, unless you're Mabius. But then again, Mabius's actor retired from the industry.
He's exempt.
I mean, maybe a sector did say he would want to come back, but only for like a short time.
Yeah, like a movie or something.
And for anyone who wasn't aware, Mabius actor actually did state like a few months ago that he wants to get back into shape from when he was in Mabius.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that he took the scene from the Absolute Conspiracy and redubbed it with his own voice.
Yeah.
Where Mabius is talking to Taiga. It's like, dude, you didn't need to do that. It was so damn heartwarming.
They know how to do the respect of previous material right. Like, it doesn't feel hollow, it feels well earned, and it's done really well.
And I think the reason why Tsuburaya wants to keep, like you said, the actors for like Powered and Onwards the same is because, one, they're not growing old. Like, sure, they're like in the 30s and their 50s right now, but they're still they're still young. They can still play the role as their Ultra counterparts. And for Danny here, like the actor, like say what you want about about Dyna's actor, he is supportive of like Ultraman. Like he's supportive of Decker, he's supportive of the actors. He's even till up to now, he always show his child like new episode of Ultraman Decker. Like this man, no matter even if Subaru is like blacklisting him or whatever, he'll always support the Ultraman franchise, which is still an amazing thing that he's doing.
I still remember one old, like, this video is now a few years old now, but like, he showed his son the origin saga when Dyna showed up, and the kid's like, Dyna! And when he finally sees Asuka, this is his first time seeing his dad as, like, dad on TV, so he's like, oh, like, just pointing at the screen in, like, amazement of, like, oh, it's dad.
It's like, my dad's a superhero.
And yeah, like, Saruno has mentioned, like, on and off camera that, like, Dyna saved him in a sense of, like, after that show ended, he didn't know what he wanted to do. So he sort of took inspiration from his character and be like, just gotta keep moving forward, man.
It's like, what would Asuka do?
I'll go sing a song for Super Sentai and it'll be banger.
Yeah. Zenkai.
I was wondering if we were gonna quickly bring up the fact that he did sing the Senkaiser opening.
The fact that he does the freaking Ultraman beam at the press conference, it's like,
Like, he did sing.
You sly bastard. Also, he did a cover of the Sun Vulcan theme at one of the live shows.
What?
It was fucking beautiful.
A cover of an already great Sentai opening? Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, the yearly Sentai Writer like live stage, I think.
Yeah,
the AU Sai or whatever it's called.
The Kamen Rider Super Sentai X AU, like the giant live show that they do at the beginning of each year.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's coming up, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
4 or 5 days.
Yeah. I mean, when this episode comes out, it'll be over.
Thanks, Time Paradoxes.
Thanks, Time Paradox.
Better than Time Para Socks.
I was wondering where my other sock went to.
Through the time wormhole.
Yeah.
But I say we covered a couple good episodes of Decker.
You know, nice, warm 2 episodes before the 5-part finale if you count the special episode.
Before the big chunk of Endgame.
Which I am fine with a 4-part finale, but I'm not happy when I have to go through all my notes for that, because that's going to be a long one.
Yeah, it's it'll be a slog, but it'll be a slog that'll be worth it to go through.
And this is why I sort of like us talking about the finale, not the week of. It lets
it settle in. Let it like soak it up.
Yeah, it lets the show sink in. Let us really think about the show of how did we really think of it, instead of giving like our initial thoughts.
Because spoilers, our initial thoughts, we were hyped and excited as hell.
I guess that'll be this episode of Ultra Galaxy Chat. This has been episode 11.
fun.
So,
It was fun.
it, half the time we were talking about Ultraman Decker and its episodes, and the other quarter it was just us rambling about whatever.
Typical Saturday for us.
Yeah, that's what happens when you record late on a Saturday, and it
With
was
friends.
with friends who like Ultraman. Which, by the way, we have a new friend that's getting into Ultraman. He asked me today like where to start, so I get to write that next.
The
Which,
Gar Ultraman Compendium. Here we go.
oh my god, you know, I feel like I could make a really good like tokusatsu mini series of that, of like how to get into insert title here.
Insert show here.
There's already people doing that in questionable ways.
But I could do it in like 5 minutes. Anyways, we'll see you all next time where we talk about the Ultraman Decker finale. And until then, schwa for now, people.
Schwa for now.
You guys can't
And
say that.
remember-
That's my thing.
And remember, don't wrestle fish.